Hey guys, hope you're keeping well and living the dream. So, in today's grammar lesson, I'm going to do adverbs, and adverbs can be a little bit tricky. So, basically, we have adjective in English, which describes a noun, but adverbs describe adjectives, verbs, and adverbs. Okay, so bear with me. I'll go slow. I'll talk you through them all, give some examples as always. I won't keep it too long. I'll try to keep it 10 minutes and then hopefully you'll be able to understand them and to use them correctly. So here we go. Now, all right. So these are adverbs of manner. Now we have adverbs of frequency, like often, usually, sometimes, all of this. But these are adverbs of manner. And we use this to say how people do things. And it describes the action or describes the verb. Okay. So have a look here. You have adverbs of manner. Now, the plan is I'm going to talk you through this and explain it. And then I'm going to go onto separate pages and explain with more examples and give clearer details and answer any questions that you probably might have about this as well. Okay, they can be a little bit tricky, but let's see. Okay, she wants to live independently. So I'm just going to start by reading this where the cursor is. So she wants to live independently. Her children always speak politely and she eats very quickly. Okay, now we use adverbs of manner to say how people do things. So for example, number 2, it says like her children always speak politely. It's the way that they speak. Okay, she eats very quickly. So quickly describes the way that she eats. Adverbs usually go after the verb or the verb phrase. So she eats, and then adverb of manner, quickly or very quickly. Her children always speak, the verb, and then politely. She wants to live independently. They go after the verb or the verb phrase. And then number 2 there, I work hard and we speak English well. So you have there, I speak English well, not I speak well English, because it goes after the verb phrase. Speak English, in this case, is the verb phrase. So we normally form adverbs by adding ly to adjectives. Normally. Now, of course, there are exceptions, but normally it's the adjective plus ly. Some adverbs are irregular. They can be the same as the adjective. For example, fast, hard, or a different word, which is well. And I'll go through some of them now. So you have the adjective, which is slow, becomes slowly with the adverb. Quick, quickly, bad, badly, careful, carefully. And these are normal adjectives, so you simply add ly. Now, healthy and easy. So when you have a consonant and a y, and a consonant is all of the letters that are not A, E, I, O, and U, which are vowels, so it's all of the other letters. If you do have a consonant and a y, you cancel the y and make it I-L-Y. With possible, it becomes possibly. So when you have le at the end, you just make it ly. That's all. And then the irregulars, which are like good becomes well. Fast is the same, stays the same, fast. And then hard is hard. And these are irregular adverbs. So remember the difference between adjectives and adverbs. So for example, and I'm going to explain a little bit more of this as well, guys, later. So I'm a careful driver. Driver in this case is the noun and careful is the adjective. So the adjective describes the noun. Okay, so I'm a careful driver. Now, I drive carefully. Carefully is the adverb and it describes the verb drive. And that's the main difference between the two. Now, I'll give some more examples about this as well. But that's the principle, is that the adjective describes the noun, but the adverb describes the verb, okay? Or sometimes the adjective, and so on. Now, have a look at this. You have very, quite, really, etc. So, in this case, it isn't very expensive. The exams are quite difficult. She drives incredibly fast. They speak really slowly. So, some adverbs, like for example, very, quite, etc., you use them to modify adjectives or other adverbs. These ones here, you use them to modify adverbs or adjectives. Okay, so they always go before that adjective or the adverb. Okay, and then finally, it says be careful. Some words that end in ly aren't adverbs. So in this case, friendly is actually an adjective. For example, he's a friendly person. Now, I know that there's a lot of information that we've just done there, but let me break it down and explain it a little bit more clearly to you. Okay, so here we go. All right, so you use an adjective to describe a noun. This is the basics with this before we even introduce adverbs. So for example, Adele is a beautiful singer. Okay, beautiful, the adjective describes noun, the singer. Lewis Hamilton is a fast driver. Okay, again, fast in this case is the adjective which describes the noun driver. Now, you use the adverb to describe a verb. Okay, so for example, Adele sings beautifully. Beautifully is the adverb of manner that you use to describe the action, which is the verb. So you're describing the way that she sings. The next one is Lewis Hamilton drives fast. Now, in this case, fast is not an adjective, it's an adverb. And it's an adverb which describes drives, which is the verb. And that's the difference with these things. Okay? Or Messi is a beautiful football player. He plays football beautifully. Or, and so on like this. Okay? Now, that's the principle with this. But now you can also use the adverbs very, quite, really, etc. So you got like very, really, incredibly, and then quite is a little bit lower than this, okay, to describe adjectives and other adverbs. So these ones here, like very, really, quite, incredibly, you use these ones to describe other adjectives and other adverbs to modify them, okay? So look, Adele is a really beautiful singer. Now, in this case, really is the modifying adverb, which modifies the adjective beautiful singer. Lewis Hamilton is a really, or very, or incredibly fast driver. In this case, the adverbs are used to describe the adjective beautiful and fast. And that's it, guys. And then another example is Adele sings really well. Now, in this case, really is used to describe well. And that's it. Okay. And then obviously, well is used to describe the way she sings. Okay. And then Lewis Hamilton drives very fast. Again, you have the adverb very, which is used to describe or to modify the adverb fast. And fast relates to the way that he drives. So that's it, basically. If you have the adjective, it goes with the noun. But if you have the adverb, it describes the verb. And if you have the modifying adverbs, for example, very, quite, really, these describe or they modify other adjectives and other adverbs. Okay, guys? It's a little bit tricky to get your head around this all, but a little bit of practice works it out. Okay? So, adjective or adverb? Choose the correct option in these, guys. And I'll give you 2 minutes. So just press pause, try your best, and we'll get them explained in a moment. So hit pause, try, see you in a bit. Okay, welcome back, guys. So fast food is very unhealthy or unhealthily. Now, unhealthy is the adjective and unhealthily is the adverb. So what is being described here? Fast food is being described. So you use the adjective to describe the noun because fast food is a noun. It's a thing, okay? And, you know, a noun is a person, a place, or a thing, okay? So it's going to be the adjective, which is unhealthy. Number 2, we wear casual or casually clothes to work. Well, clothes, what is it describing here? Is it describing wear or is it describing clothes? It's describing clothes, which is the noun, right? So you need the adjective, and the adjective is casual. So we wear casual clothes to work. The view from the top is incredible or incredibly beautiful. Now, what is incredible or incredibly describing? It's describing beautiful. What is beautiful? What type of word is beautiful? Gotcha. Boom. It's an adjective. So to describe an adjective, you need an adverb. So therefore, incredibly is the adverb, and that's the answer. because it's describing the adjective. My sister speaks Spanish perfect or perfectly. Now, what is this describing? It's describing the way she speaks Spanish, the action, the verb. So we need the adverb. So it's going to be, my sister speaks Spanish perfectly. Okay. My neighbor's children aren't very polite or politely. Now, what is polite or politely describing here? Well, it's describing the neighbor's children. Neighbor's children are a noun, like they're a thing, aren't they? So you need the adjective to describe the noun. So it's going to be polite. He wrote down her email, careful or carefully. So again, what is it describing? It's describing the writing down. It's describing the action. It's describing the verb. So you need the adverb. So it's going to be carefully. Number 7 is, old people often walk very slow or slowly. Well, it describes the way they walk. Okay, so it's the action, it's the verb. So the adverb describes the verb. Slowly. And then I bought a real or a really cheap bag in the sales. So again, it describes cheap bag. Okay, again, the bag is what it's describing. Okay, so it's the adverb. It's going to be, I bought a really cheap bag in the sales. Okay, now in this case, it's describing the cheap. My bad. Okay, it's not the bag, it's the really cheap bag. So cheap being the adjective. So really describes the cheap. So therefore, it's really cheap bag in the sales. So I suppose the best way to think of this, guys, is basically like this, okay? If you have an adjective, it describes a noun. If you have an adverb, it describes a verb, okay? And then also, guys, if you have like the modifying adverbs, like very, quite, incredibly, really, it describes an adjective like, very beautiful, really cheap, or it describes another adverb, like it modifies it, like very fast, very slow, and all of this. Okay, so I hope that's helped a little bit. Keep watching the vids, guys. Keep believing, keep practicing, and much love. Okay, so have a good day, guys, and see you soon. Bye bye.